Assalamu alaikum. O Allah, please grant peace and blessings upon Ibrahim, Muhammad and their family. Story of Prophet Ismael. Sarah, Prophet Ibrahim's wife, was deeply in love and enjoyed a happy marriage, but she could not conceive. She had an Egyptian servant named Hajar. With Ibrahim now elderly, his hair turned grey from years of calling people to Allah. Sarah felt that she and Ibrahim were lonely because of her inability to have a child. In an act of compassion, she offered her servant Hajar to Ibrahim in marriage. Ibrahim agreed, and Hajar bore him a son, Ismael, when he was already old. Sarah noticed Ibrahim's growing affection for Hajar and his unwavering love for Ismael. Feeling jealous towards Hajar, Sarah became troubled. Ibrahim, recognizing this, sought a solution to the situation. One day Ibrahim woke up and asked his wife Hajar to prepare herself and their son for a long journey. A few days later, Ibrahim set out with Hajar and their nursing son, Ismael. They travelled through cultivated lands, deserts and mountains until they reached the barren desert of the Arabian Peninsula. There they arrived in an uncultivated valley devoid of fruit, trees, food and water. The valley was empty. After Ibrahim helped his wife and child to dismount, he left them with a small amount of food and water, which was hardly enough for 2 days. He turned around and walked away. His wife hurried after him, asking, "Where are you going, Ibrahim? Are you leaving us in this barren valley?" Ibrahim did not answer her, but continued walking. She repeated what she had said, but he remained silent. Finally, she understood that he was not acting on his initiative. She realized that Allah had commanded him to do this. She asked him, "Did Allah command you to do so?" Ibrahim replied, "Yes." Then she replied, "In this case he will not neglect us," and returned while Ibrahim continued on his way. Upon reaching the Thaniya, where he was no longer visible to them, he turned to face the Kaaba, raised both hands and prayed to Allah with these words, "O our Lord, I have made some of my offspring dwell in a valley without cultivation by your sacred house, Kaaba at Mecca, in order, O our Lord, that they may offer prayer perfectly. So fill some hearts among men with love towards them, and, O Allah, give them fruits so they may give you thanks." Ishmael's mother continued to nurse him and drink from their water supply. When the water ran out, she became thirsty, and so did her child. Seeing Ishmael in distress, she couldn't bear to watch him suffer, and left him briefly. She noticed that the mountain of Asafa was the closest mountain in the area. Climbing it, she carefully scanned the valley, hoping to spot someone, but she saw no one. Then she descended from Asafa, and upon reaching the valley, she tucked up her robe and ran through it in distress. She continued until she crossed the valley and reached the mountain of Al-Marwa. There she stood and looked around, hoping to see someone, but saw no one. She repeated this, running between Safa and Marwa 7 times. On this time she reached the top of Mount Marwa, she heard a noise. Unsure of what it was or where it was coming from, she listened closely and heard it again. Desperate, she called out, "Whoever you are, please make yourself visible. You may be able to help us." As she continued to search, she realized the noise was coming from near her baby, Ismael. While she was frantically looking for water or assistance, baby Ismael was crying. And behold, she saw an angel at the place of Zamzam, digging the earth with his heel or his wing, until water flowed from that spot. She quickly made a basin around it with her hands and began filling her water skin. The water kept flowing as she scooped it up. The Prophet Muhammad said, "This is the origin of our tradition of the ritual of pilgrims walking between As-Safa and Al-Marwa during Hajj." Members of the Jurhum tribe from Yemen were travelling along the Kaaba route when they arrived in the lower part of Mecca. There they noticed a bird repeatedly flying around a particular area. They remarked, "This bird must be circling water, even though we know there is no water in this valley." They sent 1 or 2 individuals to investigate. Upon their return, they reported to the tribe that they had discovered a water source in the area. They all approached the water where Ishmael's mother was sitting. They asked her, "May we stay here with you?" She replied, "Yes, but I retain ownership of the water." They agreed to this arrangement. Ishmael's mother was pleased, as she enjoyed being in the company of others. They settled in the area, and later they invited their families, who joined them and established their homes there. Few years later, one night as Ibrahim slept, he had a powerful dream. In this dream, Allah commanded him to sacrifice his beloved son, Ismael. Upon waking, Ibrahim understood that this dream was a divine command, a test of his faith and obedience. Despite the immense sadness and difficulty, Ibrahim was resolute. He knew obeying Allah's will was paramount, even in such a heart-wrenching situation. The next morning, Ibrahim approached Ismael and shared his divine command. Ismael, though young, displayed remarkable faith and courage. He accepted his father's words with grace and readiness, showing his own deep trust in Allah. Ishmael said to his father, "O my beloved father, please do not tell my beloved mother about this. She loves me so much, and it would cause her great distress." Satan approached Ishmael's mother and told her that Ibrahim was going to kill her son. She rebuked Satan, telling him to leave. Satan then went to Ishmael, attempting to frighten him by saying, "Your father is going to kill you. Why are you following him?" As they continued toward the designated place, Satan kept appearing, trying to distract them from obeying Allah's command. Both Ishmael and Ibrahim picked up stones and threw them at Satan, driving him away. This act is commemorated in Hajj through the ritual of stoning the devil. The sun blazed overhead as they arrived at a designated spot. Ismael told his father, "O father, please blindfold me so that I won't become frightened and change my mind." Ibrahim prepared to follow through with Allah's command. With a heavy heart, he laid Ismael on the ground blindfolded, ready to make the ultimate sacrifice. At that moment, as Ibrahim raised the knife, Allah's mercy intervened. An angel appeared and stopped Ibrahim, revealing that his faith had been tested and proven. Instead of Ismael, a ram was provided by Allah to be sacrificed. This divine provision was a clear sign that the command was not to cause harm, but to test Ibrahim's devotion. Ibrahim and Ismael were profoundly relieved and grateful. They sacrificed the ram in place of Ismael, and the blood of the ram was offered as an act of obedience to Allah. Every year during Eid al-Adha, the festival of sacrifice, Muslims around the world remember Ibrahim's and Ismael's obedience and the divine provision of the ram by performing a symbolic sacrifice and sharing the meat with family, friends, and those in need. And so the story of Ibrahim and Ismael is passed down through generations, a testament to faith, trust, and the boundless mercy of Allah. As Ismael grew up, he learned Arabic from the Jurhum tribe, whose members came to love and admire him for his virtues. When he reached puberty, they arranged for him to marry a woman from among them. Eventually, Ismael became a prophet and the religious leader of Mecca, while the Jurhum tribe took on the role of political leaders of Mecca. After Ismael's mother had passed away, Ibrahim visited to see his son and the family he had left behind, but he found that Ismael was not there. When Ibrahim asked Ismael's wife about him, she explained that Ismael had gone in search of livelihood. She also shared that their living conditions were difficult, marked by hardship and poverty. Ibrahim instructed her, "When your husband returns, convey my greetings to him and tell him to change the threshold of his house." Upon Ismael's return, he sensed something was amiss and asked his wife if anyone had visited. She informed him about an elderly man who had inquired about Ismael and their living conditions. She recounted that the man had advised her to pass on his greetings and to tell Ismael to change the threshold of their home. Ismael realized that the visitor was his father and that the advice was a sign for him. He responded, "It was my father's instruction for me to divorce you. Please return to your family." Ismael then divorced his wife and married another woman from the Jurhum tribe. Ibrahim stayed away from them for as long as Allah willed and then returned to find Ismael, but he was not there. Ibrahim visited Ismail's wife and inquired about Ismail. She told him, "He has gone in search of our livelihood." Ibrahim then asked her how they were managing and about their sustenance. She responded, "We are prosperous and well off, we have everything in abundance," and she thanked Allah for their blessings. Ibrahim asked, "What kind of food do you eat?" She answered, "Meat." He then asked, "What do you drink?" She replied, "Water." Ibrahim prayed, "O Allah, bless their meat and water." The Prophet Muhammad added, "At that time they did not have grain. If they had, Ibrahim would have also prayed for its blessing." Ibrahim said to Ismail's wife, "When your husband returns, convey my regards to him and tell him to maintain the threshold of his home." When Ismail came back, he asked his wife, "Did anyone visit you?" She replied, "Yes, an elderly man of distinguished appearance came to see me." She praised him and continued, "He inquired about you, and I informed him that we are in good condition." Ismail then asked, "Did he give you any advice?" She responded, "Yes, he told me to give his regards to you and instructed that you should maintain the threshold of your home." Ismail realized that the visitor was his father and said, "You are the threshold of the home. My father has instructed me to keep you with me." After this, Ibrahim stayed away for as long as Allah willed and then returned to visit them again. Ibrahim found Ismail under a tree near the Zamzam well, sharpening his arrows. When Ismail saw Ibrahim, he rose to greet him warmly, as a father and son would embrace each other. Ibrahim said, "O Ismail, Allah has given me a command." Ismail responded, "Do as your Lord has instructed you." Ibrahim asked, "Will you assist me?" Ismail replied, "I will help you." Ibrahim explained, "Allah has commanded me to build a house here," pointing to a hillock that rose above the surrounding land. They began to build the foundations of the house, the Kaaba. Ismail brought the stones while Ibrahim constructed the structure. As the walls grew higher, Ismail would hand Ibrahim the stones, and Ibrahim would use them to continue building. When the work reached a certain height, Ibrahim stood on a stone that Ismail had placed for him to reach higher. Throughout the process, they both prayed, "Our Lord, accept this service from us. Indeed, you are the all-hearing, the all-knowing." The Prophet Muhammad said, "They kept building the Kaaba and walking around it, constantly praying, 'O our Lord, accept this service from us. Indeed, you are the all-hearing, the all-knowing.'" As they placed the stone of Al-Maqam, they continued to pray, "O our Lord, accept this service from us. Indeed, you are the all-hearing, the all-knowing." One day, while Ibrahim was sitting outside his tent, deep in reflection about his son Ismail and the divine command he had received, he was overcome with awe and gratitude for Allah's blessings. A tear fell from his eye as he recalled the sacred sacrifice and the profound significance of his actions. This powerful story of Ibrahim and Ismail is a testament to unwavering faith, obedience, and divine mercy. It is remembered and celebrated by Muslims around the world during Eid al-Adha, symbolizing the ultimate sacrifice and trust in Allah. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more content like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. Share your thoughts and comments below, and let us know what other stories or topics you'd like to explore. Until next time, take care and stay inspired.